A legendary hybrid in Pokemon Amber, episode
Hello
27.
and welcome to episode 27.
We're nearing in on
I'm
the end of the
Gabe, and
series,
today
so I
we'll
will be
finishing
checking
up
out the
side
DLC
quest and
videos,
meeting
it
our
should be clear.
first
Well, and the
legendary.
Polka Dots
But before that,
exclusively,
let's do a
but
little
the
recap.
bonus
In
episodes.
the last episode, you battled Serena, the poison-type head researcher, and now 3 of your Pokemon are ready to evolve.
And we'll see what they evolve into. Also, I noticed that we're going to get ranked Elite 4 after this, so it's like, so are we just not going to take care of the Professor Ginkgo stuff? But that might be stuff from the DLC. Like, if you want to finish the story, buy our DLC. And on Nintendo would be free DLC at least. They're pretty good about that.
The psychic type will vanish.
Well, what am I saying? Well,
as a reminder,
I don't know.
These spliced forms are based off of specific dinos from the Jurassic series. This raptor is, of course, blue.
Of
That
course.
means she isn't feathered like the regular Flytor, and gets now a more kind of boxier snout like the Jurassic raptors.
Of course.
We're also going to restore the sickle claw on the feet instead of the Pokemon-y hand position that it had before. Flytor
Less
is
Pokemon-y.
the last to get its secondary typing, which you probably could have guessed would be electric again.
Yep.
This actually
It's
works
got
out
Blue
well
Lightning
since
Stripe.
I was able to take Blue's iconic stripe and turn it into this zigzagging lightning bolt.
Which is cool.
The overall design definitely falls into the this is just a cartoon version of an animal category.
But hey,
again,
that's okay.
That's kind of the point of these spliced forms. So we'll roll with it. The colors
Plus, Pokemon's
came
always been a
together
little
pretty easy
cartoony.
here. It reads, less as a psychic type, but I don't know. That's one of those types that it's
A
often
psychic electric
difficult
type
to
is
communicate that with just
rare.
the color palette. And of course, all the shinies for these are just the base form colors. Okay, let's take a look at Spliced Flytor, the lightning bolt Pokemon.
I like both colors.
The intellect of this spliced variant is unmatched in the Palean region. They often refuse to stay in their Pokeballs and
It's so
escape
smart
from
it'll
most
zap you.
forms of containment.
Ah,
Though
dang it, that
they
means
form
the
strong
3 catch is
bonds
gonna be a
with
real
their
pain in the
trainers, They
ass.
require a great deal of freedom. Even well-trained spliced Flytor have been known to ignore commands. And its
Well,
ability is
I don't trust you.
So that doubles the speed.
I
stat
regret adding you to
whenever
the
there
part,
is
but that's
a
probably just a
terrain.
lore thing, not an
It's
actual thing that would come up
speedy
unless you
and
like
smart and
don't have enough gym
featherless,
badges or something.
Which I know will please those die-hard Jurassic fans. Okay, next up, let's make things cute.
Now for
Hopping
Spike.
back over to Bumpy from
Oh, sorry,
Camp
Bumpy.
Cretaceous, we'll be maintaining the personality with this. And Bumpy is basically like a puppy inside the body of a armor-plated Titan. So
Yep.
right off the bat, it needs a big old tongue hanging out. Bumpy is big on giving kisses, and this Pokemon will be the same.
Mm.
Oh, and the other thing about Bumpy that I wanted to continue with are the lopsided spikes on its head. In
Of
fact,
course.
we'll be making a lot of the dermal spikes kind of wonky. And, this also works since this Pokemon is a spliced form, and, maybe the genes didn't come together perfectly.
Hey,
It
it's
is
fine.
keeping
It's a
the
cute
fairy
little
typing
buddy.
Since, it's so friendly, and of course, it has the steel typing, which, makes sense because of the armor plating. But I did want to do something a little extra to reference the flower that normal Ankylotus sports on the end of its tail.
So you gave it
I
steel
ended up
tips
with
there.
this metallic blossom.
That's kinda
it's
cool.
pretty, but also rather menacing.
Hey,
The colors
Bumpy's
are,
gotta be defensive
bumpy
for you. It
colors,
could be
and
it could be a
the
lovable
shiny
puppy,
feels
but
a
you
little
also
more
want that puppy
plant-like.
to save
Alright,
you if like
Let's
there's
take a look at
intruder in
Spliced
the house,
Ankylotus,
right?
The Steel Blossom Pokemon. The tails of this fully evolved spliced
Very
Pokemon
steel. Good
have
luck
a
taking
series
that
of
out. Although
sharp
fire types
metal
will take it down
plates
pretty
which
easily.
resemble the petals of its complete form.
I kind of wish
Spliced
the
Ankylotus
spikes
is
at the end of it
playful
was
as
also the
ever,
color of the
and trainers
original
should be careful
Ankylosaurus,
not
but
to be accidentally crushed by this
Ankylotus,
behemoth's
but what are you gonna
affection.
do?
Their spikes rarely grow in straight, but this leads to a surprisingly sharp defense. And its ability is sturdy, and that makes sure that it can't be knocked out in one hit.
Isn't it the best little
It's a
pupper?
big, lovable goofball. When dealing, with all these dinosaurs, it's tempting to have them just be designs that are cool and edgy and fierce and intimidating, but I always need to remind myself that it's important to have designs that appeal to all types of people, and I hope that someone would love this goober as much as it would
Yeah,
love me back.
nowadays,
Okay.
like
That's enough cuteness. let's get
Not every
moving.
Pokemon can be a furious, ferocious, I'm going to
love that the
eat you
regular
now thing,
Spinosaur
but at
is
the same
pretty
time,
good
not everything should be
approximation of the
let's be
scientifically
friends that
accurate
will hug and
Spinosaurus,
cherish you.
But
Dude,
I
we
also
need a
know
balance.
that the
I
Spinosaurus
like
from
that.
Jurassic Park 3 has a lot of fans. In all
Look,
honesty,
Jurassic
I'm
Park 3
not
is a
really one of
controversial
those
movie,
people.
but the
I just
Spinosaurus
had
is
some
pretty
major
cool,
structural
at least
issues with that
visually.
film, and my opinion of the Spino suffered because of it. I've
They
warmed
killed the
up to the
T-Rex.
design more,
No!
especially after seeing it again in Camp Cretaceous. So I was excited to do justice with this spliced form. And again, yes, maybe it is just a cartoon version of the animal.
I like the
but
idea
I
of it
did
giving
make
a
sure
scary
to get
face
a
on
fun
its
design
spine.
on our
That's
Dark
cool.
Type sail. It's a little abstracted, but I gave it something akin to the scary face Pokemon thing. It's more apparent in the shiny. Okay, let's learn about spliced Spinosaur.
I
The
think
Rage
the
Dragon
shiny
Pokemon.
color is better
The
in
fully
my
evolved
opinion,
form
but
of this
you know,
spliced
it's
Pokemon is
fine.
completely unpredictable. They are so consumed by rage the majority of the time that they can be difficult for a trainer to connect with.
Of course.
Once they have been offended, it is
So
extremely
Bumpy's the only
difficult
one
to
that's
win
like,
back
nah,
their
we're
trust.
best friends, I'll
This
listen to you.
Pokemon should only be trained by expert Pokemon trainers. And its ability is Enraged. That's something new that I'm making up, so that means the Pokemon ignores 10% of the commands given to it, but has a 20% chance of performing an attack twice. Pretty, if I do say so myself, but you'll have to let me know
I don't
what
like
you
that.
think of these spliced forms.
Because
know
with my
it's
luck,
kind of a
I would
strange
always
thing
get the
to do, give
10%,
alternate
you
forms
know?
to starters. I wasn't initially planning it, but when I decided kind of last minute to squeeze in a third legendary and an accompanying side quest, these felt like a fun addition.
Makes sense.
You do know that you should
the Spinosaurus
be
looks the best, but that's
continuing
my
to the
opinion.
Cenozone lab to stop Professor Ginkgo and
The
whatever
the blue
her
one looks like
destructive
it's
plans
kind of
may be.
missing something in a way, but I guess it's
You
based off a
also
raptor, so
finally
it should.
have
But
all
Bumpy's
of the
adorable.
spliced final evolutions
Bumpy
in
is
the
perfect.
Pokedex and can complete
He's a
that
little
legendary
rapscallion just the way he
quest line
is.
back in the abandoned lab. So, you pull out your Pokeride and call Loftian to your aid again. Now, Loftian knows that time is of the
Whee!
essence, so it lazily floats as fast as it can.
Time is of the
Route 9.
essence! Let me take my
Arriving
sweet
at
time.
the abandoned lab, you see that Mal is still waiting for you.
You did it.
Do you live
You
here?
have all the necessary
Again, it's
Pokemon
basically a
in
free
your
house.
Pokedex. Let's get this data entered into the computer and see what this E150 program is all about.
You let the
Error
computer scan
404.
your Pokedex, and the corrupted program
Well, that's
flutters
nice.
to life. A bunch of distorted progress bars fill the screen, along with flashing text that says, "Combine all DNA and start revival
Combine.
process."
Oh
We
no.
don't know exactly
No,
what
no,
it means.
no, no, no.
So I
I've
just
seen
said
this in
no.
Philosopher. Go watch Philosopher
No.
if you haven't. But she's no, do
Unfortunately,
not
the
combine all
computer
DNA.
program processes their keystrokes incorrectly, and the text changes to "confirmed, starting revival process."
No, 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 no.
No. What is
Then
going
Ginkgo's
on?
gonna walk in like,
Oh, this is-
finally, my
this is very
plan
bad.
is
We
complete.
should get out of here now.
You watch as all of the progress bars begin rapidly filling and the entire lab begins to shake. Strange
Nine,
equipment
nine,
is
nine,
whirling to
delete,
life
delete,
all
delete.
around you as
Control,
you
Alt,
follow
delete.
Mal out of the lab. When you get outside, there is a massive explosion of multicolored flames. And the silhouette of a giant Pokemon can be seen stomping through the fire towards you.
We
I
made
have
it
no
into a
idea.
raptor.
What we managed to create, but you're gonna have to deal with it. Good luck.
Even Arceus
Let's
comes
make
down,
our
looks at
first
this thing, and
legendary.
goes, "That's
Now,
not my
This
problem."
technically counts as like the third
I didn't make
legendary
that.
of the region, but you know what I mean. Anyway,
It's fine.
paying homage to the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World series, we'll be looking at the Indominus Rex. Now, I may not be the biggest fan of the hybrid dinos that are in the Jurassic World
It
series,
is kind of
from
a
narrative
what
standpoint,
sort of
at least,
thing.
but I can at least
But
recognize that they
the
are,
Indominus
really
Rex
cool
does
designs.
look
They just
cool.
look neat as heck. And
I'll
this
never
legendary
take that
side
away
quest
from
just
it.
had to
It's
end
a little
with that.
edgy, but
I'm
but in a good
definitely
way, you
risking
know?
making the design a bit too busy, but I love the idea of this Pokemon just being a mass of claws and teeth
And
spikes
bones.
and muscles. You know, it was important to me that, you know, some of the elements just felt unnatural. So that's why the hands, with their little thumbs, are split
It
into
made-
different colors.
It made for a good
This makes
final. The
function of
Endowment Switch
hands
made for a good
feel
final
almost
boss in the first movie.
Frankensteined together.
Well, the first
Same
World
goes with
movie.
the
I don't know how it went
overlapping
after
sections on
that because
the
it kind of
face
stopped
and
after
the
World One.
scar-like X on the chest. You know, I am pretty happy with how it turned out, though. Busy,
I don't know much
but
about the
in a
series
good
other
way.
than after World
Oh,
One, they started to
Even
suck.
though it is essentially a dinosaur and the dragon typing would fit, I decided to make it mono dark type. Honestly, it being monotype will make a lot more sense when we get to the ability. Alright, let's learn about Dominex, the
Jeez.
hybrid Pokemon.
That's its first
Strange
form, or is
abandoned
that its
research in
final?
the
It's got to be
Paleon
its final
region
form
resulted
because,
in the
like,
creation
legendary.
Of this hybrid Pokemon. The DNA of Dominex is an amalgamation of multiple ancient species. This
And as chaotic as it got, but still a cluster fudge. You want to see a real cluster fudge of combination Pokemon? Again,
Researchers
Pokemon
doubt that any
Philosopher.
trainer
Highly
contained
recommend.
its unpredictable nature. And its ability is something that I'm calling unstable. And that means that this Pokemon will change its type to match any move.
Oh, great,
that
it's
it uses
Kecleon.
or any move that hits it. So it's just constantly changing type all the time. It is a particularly difficult
It's
Pokemon
Kecleon, but a
to
bit
challenge
better.
due to that ability, and its stats are nothing to laugh at either.
Yeah.
It chews through most of your team until just your scrappy little splice starters remain. It takes even more time to whittle down its HP, and you have to toss way too many Pokeballs at it. But
Too
you'll
many
eventually
revives.
Catch this legendary.
Nice work.
Get the frig in
I'm
there!
thinking that we keep this accident our little secret, okay?
How do we keep this
Who's to
exploded
say that
lava
the lab
secret?
wasn't all exploded when we found it,
Ancient
right?
Indian burial
I'll
ground?
stay here
Ancient
and see
Indian
what can
burial
be
ground.
salvaged. Hopefully that legendary Pokemon will help you with whatever you have ahead of you. I'll see you around.
Now that you and Mal have agreed to never discuss the destruction that you accidentally
Let us never
caused,
speak of this
you can
again.
fly
The
back
motto
to
of
the
every
north.
filler episode
you
in
hop
anime.
onto your Loftian and take to the skies, but we'll pick up from there in the next episode. Thank you all so much
That
for
was a
watching, and
cluster
please
fudge,
leave
but it's
a
also
like
kind of
note
fun to
if you enjoyed the
see.
video. As always,
Good to see the
I'd
final
love to hear
forms
your
and
thoughts on
the
today's
new
episode down in the
legendary.
comments below.
It's just like
A huge
I
thank
do-
you to Gipster for voicing Mal again. I'm leaving a link down in the
I
description
do like
to
the
their
idea that
Pokemon
these
channel.
like
Go check it out. They'll be making the Switch
splice
digital art on their
Pokemon
channel.
like
and I'm
are the
pretty excited
kryptonite to
see
this
that myself.
legendary.
Anyway, I'll see
Like they
you
aren't
all in episode
obviously, but
28,
still like the
where we
idea
will be
that like
confronting
they're the
our
ones that can
first
take it
Elite
down
Four
if we
member.
can glorify it.
Bye.
I don't know. It's kind of funny to just imagine if after that the king was like, I knew you couldn't resist catching them all. I knew it. And since this is a one game, not a split game, you can catch them all. Not like be split between things. But even then, nowadays it's a bit easier. You don't need a link cable and all that stuff. You just need an internet connection, which makes things a lot easier, to be honest. But it's just the. I do like the Final Forms, a lot of cool designs here. The idea of, again, the indirect being a combination Pokemon, or just like, what have I unleashed? And how do I unleash it? You're going to be spamming a lot of paralysis, sleep, and just chucking Ultra Balls at it. But yeah, that's our final forms for the Splice Pokemon. Two of them were kind of more on the perfect side, and one's like, I'm your best friend forever. And the other two is like, I will not listen to a word you say unless you freaking, I don't know. No, I just will not listen to a word you say. The end. And Mummy's like, I'll be your best friend and listen to everything you say. Can I have Poke Treats? So obviously, I think out of all, when it comes into the final forms, I think Bumpy easily wins this one. But design-wise, I think the Spinosaurus takes the win. Although it has the worst ability, in my opinion, just because I know with my luck, I'll get that 10% every freaking time. Comes to win the lottery? God forbid. When it comes to getting terrible luck, oh, absolutely, don't worry. And without fail. Or your money back. Just kidding, no refunds. Oy. But yeah, ultimately, this was just showing off cool designs and finishing a side quest, which, hey, that's excellent stuff to see and cool to check out. So, yeah. Great stuff. But glad I checked it out, I mean to say. And I hope you liked it as well. So, I'll see you all in the next one. Later.